have some news. I thought I'd bring it to you. I'm going to do it real quick. This isn't going to get you through your day, but this will be a quick spot for you. I'm also going to tell you how to get a free 30 days at audible.com. Get you started, get your first download for free. I'll even tell you how you can listen to podcasts commercial free if that's your thing. So I'm looking at the calendar, and guess what day it is? Old Chael is a free man. The suspension is up, and Daddy is back. And frankly, never should have left. And so many people ask me all the time, are you coming back? Are you coming back to fighting? And my answer is no. My answer has always been no, and my answer is still no. But the one thing that people missed was I didn't have a choice. I was on a suspension. I had retired, and then that got rubber stamped with a suspension on top of that. So equate that to a license that you guys have. Equate that to a driving license. Whether you're planning to drive a car or not, you got to have the license. You just have to. Otherwise, the answer is just no. Even if somewhere you'd like to get yourself to the supermarket, you need a lift. You got to have that license. I wasn't eligible for a license, but things have changed. Daddy did the crime and he did the time. And now he's free. Debt is paid. Where do we go from here? I have a match lined up. I got into submission grappling. When I retired from MMA, I got into submission grappling. Now, submission grappling doesn't fall under any scope. So when I was suspended from fighting, I never really knew what that meant. I knew that meant, okay, MMA's gone. That was real obvious. But it could mean some other things, too. I had a chance to box Roy Jones Jr., and there was a Roy Jones Jr. sweepstakes going around. Anderson Silva was in the talk. Rampage ended up in there. Nick Diaz was inserted at some point. There was a little sweepstakes for an MMA fighter. So I was the guy who was going to box Roy Jones, and we were going to box on the rooftop of a skyscraper in Abu Dhabi. Pretty weird deal. I don't think I ever talked to you guys about that because it didn't gain any traction because the commissions oversee boxing. So though I was banned from fighting, I just didn't know what it meant. We knew it meant MMA. I assumed it probably extended to boxing. And it was a case of I could go in and ask them, but then you're leaving the country. I just had a sense that it had a bad feel to it. And just stayed away. So I got into the submission grappling. Even started promoting events. One thing I learned through submission grappling in my own experiences was there was nowhere to do it. There just wasn't opportunity. I've been suspended 2 years. I never say no. And I'm the kind of guy they wanted on their cards. I got put on every card there was. And with that said, I wrestled twice in 2 years. Might have been 3 times. Had Galvo, Babalu, and Michael Bisping. And there just wasn't a lot of opportunity there. So what am I going to do now? Well, now my options are open. And MMA isn't in my future. But I do have a grappling contest scheduled with Tim Kennedy. Tim Kennedy and I were going to wrestle at Submission Underground in the debut show. And Tim agreed. And I have to say that. This is not a situation where Tim refused to do it. It was just the opposite. Tim said yes. But Tim was doing some very important work for the government. Some work for the Pentagon. We'll leave it at that. And he just couldn't make the date. He said, look, you pick a date. I don't give a damn. If August 1st on, I'm your guy. So I have to say that about Tim. He deserves that. And he's a tough son of a bitch. And when the time comes, I will give him an ass whipping. But we'll do it in Submission Underground. We'll do it under EBI rules. But the bottom line is Daddy's a free man. Oh, I'm a free man. And I'll tell you, I did everything right. And the guys that are in my spot have got to learn from the playbook. Come as clean as you can, as quickly as you can. And I got hit with a 2-year suspension, which at that time, right now, that's the standard. But I was in there before that standard was put in place. I came in with legal medications. Now, these were banned and they were performance enhancers, and I knew it. It was a dirty, slimy thing to do. But there is a relevance if you're taking a legal medication through a prescription, you're going into a pharmacy and taking it. There is a relevance to that when you combine that with dirty, illegal, imprisonable steroids that not only are you not allowed to take, not only are they banned, they're against the law. The relevance there is I sat 2 years, and guys that came in behind me, one sat 9 months and one sat 12 months retroactive. I didn't get any of those benefits. I had to do double the time, deal with everything I had to deal with that I deserved, put myself in that spot, just telling the story the way it happened. And I sat double the time. And it was a little bit confusing. You don't really get to protest those things. I've been on both sides of that. I was in there one day, got approved for what's now a banned substance of testosterone, got approved for testosterone, and Nick Diaz was on the docket right behind me, and for a marijuana metabolite. I don't like marijuana. I am not a pot guy. But I can't argue with the laws. The laws have changed, both federally and on the state level. He came from California. He had his card. He took it legally. He did everything right. He got banned for 5 years. I got approved for what is now a banned substance the same day that Nick Diaz got suspended for 5 years for taking something legal. There's a relevance there. That's not a boo-hoo, poor me. Not at all. They could do that to Nick. They can do anything. But that latitude, what I'm looking at and going, hey, wait a minute. I came in. I fessed up. I came clean. And I paid for it. And I paid double what other guys that lied and said that they took it through some kind of erectile dysfunction medication. They had dirty, illegal, imprisonable steroids. I had no steroids, 100% legal, banned in sport, but 100% legal. I could possess it and ingest it in front of a police officer. Nothing happens. Guys came in behind me that if a cop found it, they would put them in handcuffs. Do you understand the difference? Well, guess what? The difference doesn't matter because the clock is ticked. It hit midnight. And Daddy's back. Go to audible.com/Chael. Here's how this works. It's free. You don't get out a credit card. You don't attach PayPal. It's totally free for my listeners only. Only. Now, it's free for 30 days. You guys get how that works. They are so confident over there at audible.com that you're going to love their business model, that after 30 days you can't go without it, and that you will become a paid customer. That's for you to decide. I want you to go over there right now, and I'll tell you why. Audible.com/Chael. Here's what I like. I like to learn while reading. I'm the same way with movies. I'll watch a movie for entertainment basis, but if I can learn something while watching the movie, it's a double win, and it's very hard to be entertained while learning. Every teacher, every college professor in the country tries to do that. That's their ultimate goal. It's hard to achieve. You usually have to pick one or the other. If you guys find a book, and I'm nonfiction. I want a nonfiction book for me. But if you find a book that's a true story and it's entertaining, I want you to tweet me. I just want you to tweet me and tell me what it was. That's what I like to listen to. If you go to audible.com, you can get the app. You can listen to podcasts, including this one, commercial free. But for 30 days and for your first download, it's on me. It's on me. I have worked this deal out with these guys. For my listeners only, audible.com/Chael. Go enjoy yourselves. Thank me later. I'm Chael Sonnen.